at the stage. There we go. And we're live officially this time in the right place. So again, we're back on. We're gonna have Sheri back so she can. You remember the question that you had for her?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a brand new live. We did start on time. We were on at 6 o'clock. We had a guest. Her name is Sheri. She is a travel consultant. I met her in Dominican Republic. It's been almost 2 years now. So I wanted her to come up so we could talk about the travel industry, because Dominican Republic does get, I think it is the most visited Caribbean island. And she had some, news about
new cruises, ports, how La Romana, I think it was, is going to be pioneering into a lot. It's going to have a big boom when it comes to tourism, and it's going to put Dominican Republic on the forefront.
More on the map.
Yes.
As far as cruises, and their base, this company now, MCP, she said, is that's going to be their home base, which is great for the economy. On this channel we talk about all things Dominican Republic and healthcare workers and travel and all that stuff.
And a little bit of law, even though a lot of people don't like to hear it.
Well, he's the lawyer. He answers the questions. We didn't want to do any questions today. We just wanted to
chop it up.
Hang out with Sheri.
Yeah,
like we're doing.
So Sheri, I have to apologize because
it's him again.
Yes. So it turns out we were running the stream on her alternate account where we don't have as many followers as here, but we'll make sure that the editing does have the first half an hour, so you don't have to worry about that. But now we want to go back to the question that we had, which was.
I wanted to ask you about your home base, because like I said, I love to travel, and I kind of sometimes when I'm in one place too long, I kind of get a little
anxious.
And I notice sometimes when I get your notifications, you're in Colombia, you're somewhere. So are you based in Jamaica? Do you have to go to these locations wherever the ships are whenever there's a new ship, or how does that work?
All right, so let's see how best I can answer that to make good sense. So Sher-Funtastic is registered in Jamaica. So it's a Jamaican registered and operated company, and we are affiliated with our host from California. And so I do have a North American. So the short answer would be we are Jamaican American.
Okay.
Now, what has happened since COVID is I no longer have a walk-in office.
Okay.
And the honest truth is the bulk of what we've been doing for the last 15 years, going 16 maybe, has always been remote. So the clients who would have walked into my office in Jamaica predominantly were doing, visa applications. As Jamaicans, we need visas to go to North America, US and Canada, predominantly England and so on. Those are the main areas. But when it comes on to our cruise sales or events or major stuff, that's coming through our North American partnership, because they also have a lead program and they have specializations. So I am trained by several of the companies, not only the cruise lines, to be a specialist in their particular brand. And so they literally send us their clients. So I give you an example, which it makes no sense to most people, but it is what it is. I have a major arrangement with a company in Greece because as a specialist in their brand, with all the experience I've had and all the success I've had, they will send me their overflow clients It's like I am a call center when their offices are closed or their people are backed up. So they
Okay,
will.
so basically, it's that you're always available when you need to be to render service, and so
Correct.
people can get in contact with you live. It's not that they're gonna get a machine; they're always gonna get you to help them out.
That's right. And that's what our lead generation offers. When you go onto our back office, we have this nice system where you have a little blinking light, for want of a better um, description, that tells you what needs are, how should I say, what clients with what needs are waiting to be attended to. And so by
Okay.
simply clicking on that, you literally go in, pull that person out of a queue, and start a live interaction. So even
Mm.
we're registered in Jamaica, the bulk of our business does not come from Jamaica. And the bulk of who we service all the way through have been predominantly North Americans.
Okay.
Okay.
So going back to the question I asked, so you move around, you
Ah,
tend to move
but
around. Yeah, that was
so
the question. Where are you based?
that was a very important question because when you met me, I literally had made my mind up to move to the DR to open this business there. Little did
Okay.
I know, Ricardo, was not a walk in the park. I learned that on the ground. I learned that
Yeah.
getting residency and getting documents apostolized and the amount of money. I met with an attorney, and I know we're kind of all over the place, but it's not really because it's right in line with what we do as as people, both yourselves and for me. I met with an attorney, and it was so funny with that particular meeting. There didn't seem to be a structure. She just seemed to pull some costs out of a hat and made me some promises that seemed, I try to find good words. But basically, when guy meets girl and guy wants to get girl and guy tells girl sweet nothings so that the deal can be sealed, for want of a better term. That's what I felt was happening.
Yeah.
So she pulled these figures out of a hat, and she agreed that, oh yes, we can do that. Yeah, man, just send on 3,000. Oh yeah, and we can do that and that. But yeah, send three. Yeah, you know what? Just send 7,000 for starters, and this is all in the first WhatsApp call. And so I reached back out to her, and getting her on the phone was like giving birth to triplets. And I said to myself, imagine if my 7,000 had already been given over. And so I put that into perspective to explain how I ended up leaving DR, because at that point I realized that my 30 days was about to expire. Things were not as easy as I thought. Opening a bank account and logging all my documents across from Jamaica was not just as easy as it seemed. So I left for the first go, and I was already of the mindset that Latin America was opening up. And so I said, you know what? I'd already packed up all my things, gave up my apartment. I was so serious. I mean, this was a no going back story. And so that's kind of how my nomad journey started. So in all honesty, Colleen, the answer to that question is it was more out of an occasion than a situation that had me starting to travel. I was already in
Okay.
the DR. I said, you know what? I've never been to Mexico as a what you call it now, just as a regular person. I've always been on work related events. So let me just go to Mexico. They give Jamaican passport holders 6 months. Let me go check it out, live like a local, get the lay of the land. Because, as well, very important was that we were having a whole lot of Jamaicans now traveling with the advent of the direct connectivity from Montego Bay through there onto Mexico. And I was already
Mm.
selling those packages where you stay in 2 or 3 places because we had the airlift. So went to Mexico and then kind of moved around in a circle for a year doing what I dubbed my digital nomad experience. And that's how it started. Went to Colombia, and there was something about Colombia. And so that was Medellin in 2025, I believe. Yeah, did my maximum because they're very, and that's something that we have learned, and it's been a very good thing for me talking now with people who want to travel but they don't want to go through all the throngs of trying to get visas. There are so many countries that allow visa free travel, and I did not need to do it myself to prove it was true, but doing it myself has made a difference because I now know how to position it. So Col- Colombia just kind of happened, and it was not big on the radar, but it happened again. And so, but my ultimate goal is to see how many Latin American countries I can experience. Jamaica, on the very same trajectory, has been negotiating airlifts with more and more countries. And so there are more and more flights from Jamaica. So literally, I'm experiencing and then advertising to my Jamaican clients. But funny enough, they're not the ones who I expect to do the spend because I'm going to be very honest. I like the people who are more inclined to book groups. And so my Jamaican clients who are living in North America still tend to be the ones who get more of the attention because if they can pull together a group of families, friends, and they have no difficulty in traveling, their passports take them everywhere. But if they can pull together a group and know that they can include people who live in Jamaica, who live in the Caribbean, and they can join them in Latin America for a cruise, for an event, then it opens up a whole wide world of possibilities. So that's kind of my other reason for trekking through South America. There is some method to my madness.
So we're gonna segue into the question that I asked you. Was it yesterday when we were talking on WhatsApp, which I just find fascinating. And I've been sort of looking into it lately. That you mentioned that you are now offering people who want to retire and live on cruise ships. Let's talk about
Yes, listen, this has been happening for a while. And there are a lot of people who, first of all, they go, "Oh no, not gonna happen." But more and more, and this is with the advent of the remote work and the partial retirement or the various rearrangement of lifestyle that a lot of people now enjoy. And the truth about it is that more people want to travel more intentionally. And a cruise is still one of the easiest ways to see many destinations.
that. Right.
So we're talking about persons who might want to live on cruise ships. The idea is you don't start kind of like me and just sell everything and pack up. It's good to know. And so yesterday I remember I painted a picture for you. And one of these two areas would be what I would suggest. Either they do some back to back to back to back cruises. And what that means is you stay on the one ship and you book itinerary dates after each date. So you start on, where are we now? Let's stay next year because it's good when you forward plan. You start in March of 2027 and you book the departure out of Miami. We're just pulling something out of a hat. And to a Norwegian, yes? Then you would book March departure on the Norwegian Escape. Then 7 days later, it will return to Miami and it might do another area. So it might do an Eastern Caribbean, that would take you into San Juan, Puerto Rico. It might reach to St. Kitts, Barbados, that sort of thing. But on the return to Miami, it will do Western Caribbean. So it would be doing like Cayman Islands, it might do Jamaica, or it might do a Cozumel, Costa Maya sort of a thing. So you're alternating itineraries. So if you're doing that back to back to back, and this particular ship, the Escape, was only doing Eastern and Western Caribbean, every other week you would be visiting these ports of call. What that would do for you, it would mean that you don't even have to come off the ship all the time in all of these places. Or if you want to, you can, not a problem. But more importantly, if we book it and set it up properly, you will have ideally that same stateroom that you would remain in. And when the ship gets back in port for turnaround day, all you need to do is take your passport, come off the ship, deal with immigration, because the manifest would indicate that the ship needs to be cleared of all passengers, and you sign back on as a onward sailor. You can do this as many times as you want, and persons do that. Some people, because we also suggest loyalty having its rewards, you can change ships. So people have been very, very instrumental in doing their back to back on the very same day on a different ship. So you get back into, you've done the Eastern, then you did the Western, and you're like, you know what, now I want to do a Panama Canal. We see there's another Norwegian ship that is heading into the Panama Canal on the very same day that we're finishing this particular sailing. You jump off, you grab your luggage, and you head straight over. So those are the two big ways that people do it. They move from ship to ship, or they just keep going back and forth on the same ship. Now, there's the other way to do it, where you might want to wet your feet on a longer sailing. So you might take a 19 night or a 33 night. You're not yet living on, but you're doing longer stays. And these typically will do a greater variety of itinerary. So, for example, you might be doing a repositioning cruise that would take you maybe from Miami to Los Angeles. It would go through the Panama Canal, and it would come through, you would touch some parts in Mexico on the Pacific side and reach up to Los Angeles. Some persons will grab a ship in Los Angeles and head to Seattle. And then if you do that with the proper timing, you can get another vessel from Seattle and go off and do the Alaska season, which usually would have picked up its start point in May and go through to September. So I know I'm giving you a whole lot of routines, but it is yes, thing that can be customed to how you want it. Some persons will just do it for an extended period. Some people do it for a set period. There's this one fellow that I'd mentioned, Super Mario, has done 500 sailings, and he literally lives on ships. Of the 365 days in the year, he just takes 2 weeks off, does his medical, does his, whatever he needs to do, and back on ships. Another way is...
Let me ask you about the cost factor, because somebody that is retiring is more or less going to be living on a fixed income, right? And if you are living somewhere on land, you know how much your budget is, how much you're going to pay out, your monthly expenses,
like for electricity,
all of that stuff, health insurance,
internet.
So this ship, this new type of
let's say living.
This it's a little different. So how would I'm just trying to figure out what the cost. Just give me an idea of
like if you spent a month in like, let's say in a cruise ship, like you budget yourself out for, like she mentioned, the 33-day cruise.
Right.
Like how much money would that run you just bare bones,
And
you know.
would it make sense if you're comparing it to living on land where you know how much you're gonna pay out monthly as opposed to taking these various types of cruises?
All right. The best comparison that I can give you is that of a senior who now goes into assisted living. And
Mm-hmm.
they've run the math, and that's one of the quickest ways to show the correlation, right? Now we'll do it just for a year so we have a proper look. Assisted living where you have your own room, you're not sharing, and you are in this complex that will have the nursing staff, you will have, somebody coming in doing a few games or activities, taking you out on day trips and whatnot. Those are running you on average $10,000 per person per month, right? We're all talking about US because that's the figure, that's the currency of cruising, right? Of travel generally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your meals are basic. If you still want to have something exotic, not even exotic, you want to eat out, you don't want to always have the food from within, you're still going to be paying, eat out prices. Compare that now to living either as a solo or as a couple, because many people do it as a couple. They just have an interior cabin. That's the entry level on the ship. And they
Mm-hmm.
have daily room service, no extra cost. They will have dining in multiple restaurants across snack counters to buffets to the main dining room to specialty restaurants. Most of those are included. They're going to have
Okay.
activities and events that are scheduled by the entertainment staff, already included. Then they are going to be moving from place to place and having their floating hotel take them to different destinations almost every single day. They have a medical center on board just in case life decides to throw them a little curveball, they can get some attention. Basic
Right.
attention has its inclusion, but if it's anything critical or life threatening, that will come with a cost, but it is there. And I put all
Okay.
of it together because when you take that 10,000 a month per person and you combine, that's an entry basic cost for assisted living, and you take that same 10,000 and you start to build your loyalty. Every cruise, you're going to get some other loyalty benefits. You might get complimentary laundry. You might be getting drinks and Wi-Fi. And there's some other offers like casino. You just go into the, I'm sorry, I heard some noise. Not sure what's going on around there. You go into a casino and you spend $200. I'm not a gambler, but a lot of these persons who have gotten these benefits, they will just go into the casino, play for an hour, then they get a casino offer. The casino offer will give them a free cruise on the next sailing. We have the
Okay.
um, future cruise desk, and as agents we will send our clients back to the future cruise desk because they're now going to pay a ridiculously discounted rate on the next cruise. And so on this cruise, because they took advantage, they're getting onboard credit, so they can spend in the specialty restaurant, they can buy things in the gift shops, they can pay for excursions. So we're still looking on this $10,000 per person as a dollar figure in a retirement home, and we're using that to do a cruise, $2,000 per week. There are 4 weeks in the month. That looks like we are at what, $8,000, right?
8,000.
$8,000. Okay.
And you really have not spent out of pocket much more. Make
Mm.
sense?
It does. If you come into account that you have a lot of creature comforts and you don't have to worry about gas, electricity, or anything, which is those little costs that a lot of people ignore, like when they were moving whether it be in an apartment, a country, and you have to remember, you also have to bring into account a car to move around or paying. You don't have to drive anywhere. You just have to walk to what you want and how you want it. So even though it may seem like a high price to many, but it's not unreasonable because everything is right there for you. It's the comfort of not having to scramble to get what you need. You know
Exactly.
that it's going to be available 24/7.
And it's
The only thing
planning.
to that is if you are living on a very fixed, moderate income, that to me seems
Out of the realm of
out of the
possibility
realm for the I can't say the average person 'cause I don't know what the average person's
is earning
retirement
right now.
income. You know, we know how the economy is right now, but yeah, if you're the type of person that have planned for this type of retirement, you know, not necessarily cruising, but going into a retirement home. And when I worked as a
Hospice
home health
nurse?
hospice nurse in the States, I went into a lot of these, we call them ALF, adult living facilities, right? You have different
Brackets.
different brackets. Like I've been in the ones where very basic, and then you have the one that's very grandiose, right?
The high end, we
Very
have the
high end.
families
So
coming in all the time,
yeah,
bringing in like
so
it's like they own the place
right.
because of how high end
I
it is.
would say that this type of cruise retirement would fall more into that higher end bracket. And we have a lot with people who are high income earners because a lot of them that's living there now is because they've sold their homes and they have a certain amount of disposable income. And a lot of them, their family members, whether it's sons, daughters, whatever, they're covering
The
the
expenses.
expenses. But the
Right.
only problem is what I've seen a lot is that if depending on the age and how long they've lived there, the money starts to run out. Because I used to hear it all the time. You know, we're gonna have to find something for mom because this money is running out. So we're gonna
Yeah,
have to find another ALF that might be 2,000 or 3,000 a month. So with the ship, you know, retiring and living on the ship, which sounds great. Do you have different price ranges? You know,
Oh
for
yeah,
someone who can't afford that 10,000 or 8,000 a month, you have
oh yeah.
different price ranges.
And of course, like the true sales agent, I start at the top tier.
Yes.
Of course, I've been watching the journey of others, and they have done it on $2,000 for the month. And that,
Okay. It's-
and that's when they mix and match the offers, the frequent cruiser benefit, the casino privileges, the promotions. And so that is where planning in advance and working with your dedicated travel advisor comes into place. Because, for example, when a ship releases its itinerary, it usually does it 2.5 years into the future. If you have a good travel who's working with you, you can be getting that $800 cabin per week as opposed to $2,000 cabin because you booked it way in advance. That agency might have group space blocked that for 2 years into the future, it's going to be almost a quarter of what you will pay closer to departure. So it's almost a science.
Yeah.
This is not something that you go into, willy-nilly. This is something that you would need a knowledgeable advisor who's willing to spend time with you, who is willing to look at what serves your needs, who will help you to objectively see what your cash flow is like, what your health will be like, all of the different factors. It's almost like having your attorney sit down and go through your estate planning. Is this something that we can do now? It's a whole process, not to be taken lightly. And so that is one of the main reasons the suggestion is start with, say, that 33-day cruise. And the longer the cruise, cheaper it is, dollar for dollar, day by day. So that 33 day cruise that I spoke of, which literally is a month, could cost both yourself and your husband under $3,000.
Okay.
That's good. The reason why I asked because we are here in Dominican Republic, and we know a lot of people that have been leaving their home country, whether it's the U.S., Canada, wherever. They're looking for a more affordable lifestyle because we know over there it has gotten way expensive, just
Oh, yes.
basic living. So, coming here, a lot of people that are coming here now are looking to not give up their lifestyle, so to
Mhm.
speak, but looking to be able to come to a country where they can, their money goes further, right? So the cruising thing sounds great. I wanted my subscribers or anybody that will see this, live stream, that this is an option and it's not
Impossible.
it's not impossible.
It's available to them, and that's one of the main things that we want to bring to the table in our channel. That there's always a choice. You're not locked into one place, one destiny, one reality. You can actually escape the grind and find different options, because there's some people that are close to us that they won't even, that you have to do an extreme thing to get them on a plane. They rather much get on a cruise. So, cruises are an option. They'll say, well, I want to travel to the Caribbean, but I don't want to fly. Well,
And can I tell you, I'm happy you said that, because this vessel that will now be home porting in the Dominican Republic can be a game changer for those very same people. Because when they get to the DR and they have acquired property, they literally, and I'm literally working it through in my head as we're saying it, that home can now become an income generating property. They can board this ship that does, oh my gosh, it does so many variation of itineraries within the Caribbean for as low as $1,100 per person for 7 nights, and they can sail to 6, 7 different destinations, put their home on an income generating platform for the period that they're away, and go see, go explore, and then come back home.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
Because sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes it's not only catering to the fact that it's like, oh, you have to move and leave your home. No, sometimes you need to experience new things in order to come back with like a clean slate and think it's like, well, now I have something to work for. Now I have something that I want to achieve. So I'm gonna work hard so that by next year I can do this trip again, but do it for longer, or even stay there for a good while. I know what I can get. But
So
when people don't take that chance, they don't know what's out there for them. They just stay in that bubble forever.
And the thing about the cruising that I like when I used to cruise is that I could get to a few more countries without having to pay separate airfares.
Exactly.
That was always a plus for cruising.
Ricardo, as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about the networking. Can you imagine the people that you're meeting on these ships? Can you imagine those conversations that are going to occur in the dining room when you're sitting at a 10-top table with strangers from, oh my gosh, anywhere, everywhere? Can you imagine? We are not old. We are retired or pre-retired, or we're young and able, and we're probably finding business opportunities. It's, oh my gosh. People who cruise, they're not just doing it for the fun. A lot of them, they get all kind of wonderful opportunities. As a matter of fact, there's a company, I don't think I want to call their name because we're not giving away any free publicity. But I started with them because they're nomadic, for want of a better term. These are professionals who live nomadic lives. And I'm going to say this, guys. This whole world of digital nomads and living remotely, it is expanding and exploding. And the value of this community is getting so huge and the spendability that they're bringing to the table, it transcends what we know as normal life. And so they are coming on this very same ship. Oh my God, now you know who they are if you know. And when they hit the DR, they are going to be doing a post cruise event. They're jumping on to 2 weeks in Las Terrenas, and then they're going up to Cabarete for another event. Then they're flying to Mexico. And I'm telling you this simply so that you understand there's a whole community of people who have decided they're not going to be pegged to a particular geographic location. They're earning, they're networking, they're meeting people, they're increasing their net.
Sorry. Just a second.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
So, there's a whole lot of excitement I'm bringing because simply I have been engrafted into a world of possibilities that up to 2-3 years ago I didn't even know existed. Not the way I'm making it available now.
And it's good that we can make this known because a lot of people still don't know that this is
A possibility, an option.
a choice. So if you're that type of person, then and you can afford it. This is great, and that will bring me into another thing that we talk about a lot too for people traveling is health insurance because we have a situation now where we have a friend right now who's over 70 and cannot get health insurance, and I want to talk about Safety Wing, which is an affiliate of mine. I'm working with them, and they provide health insurance for nomads, and it's very affordable. And it also there's so many parts to it. But the point I want to make right now is, if you know that you're getting close to that 69 age, and you're gonna be thinking about relocating or you're gonna be planning to travel, it is always good to
have a backup.
Yeah, get your health insurance because once you hit 70, you can pretty much nobody wants to insure you, and that's the problem right now. She cannot get, and she's living here in DR, and I thought for sure
that we would
be
find
able to
somewhere
get her even on our insurance as a group policy, but it can't. So that's just something I want people to, just look ahead. If you're 65 and you know that at some point you're gonna retire, you want to travel, you can get. It's not expensive. You can get it, before you hit that 70, especially if you plan on living overseas. That's why it's really good to plan, because had she known that she was gonna move from her home country to DR, she would have gotten the insurance before she even got here.
Exactly. She could have still had insurance at this point.
Paying for it, so she would be grandfathered in, when she's 70. So,
because that's something they explained to us. They told us, it's like, well, if she would have started her insurance 2 years before, we could have just kept giving her the service and it wouldn't be a problem, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Which is, it happens. It's stuff that you don't look into or you don't know,
you don't really think about it.
You don't really think about it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Really I'm happy you brought that up because in my former life,
you can still hear her. I can't. Just.
You hear me all right? Still there?
Where our this one is going? So we're using
just give us a second, Sheri. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me fix the audio. Yeah, just making sure it's fixed so that we can hear her because our wireless accoutrement stopped working. Yeah, so let's see for the audio.
Are we checking the time? How long have we been on?
Well, we've been for about an hour. Just give us a second, Sheri. We're making sure that we can hear you. Speaker. Okay. All right. Let us see. Sheri, can you speak for a second there?
Yeah, I'm hearing you good.
Just give us a sec. I'm just trying to.
That's the thing about going live.
Yeah, it's those little
It's
those
live.
little tidbits that
Just can't
yeah
fake it because
yeah
it's live.
okay. So I think I managed to fix it. I mean, our mic has not stopped working. That's a good thing. So
Mhm.
hope that there she can actually hear us.
Can you hear us?
Oh yes, I've heard you all the
Yeah,
way
she
through.
can
So
hear us, but we can't hear her. Yeah,
can't hear me.
so
That's not
funny
good.
how this works. So,
It's just completely dead. Can we just use it for another couple of minutes?
yeah,
I
it's on.
mean,
It's been beeping because of things. So
mine was fine.
okay, okay. So
Okay.
yeah. So yours was working
Mine
fine.
was fine. Yeah, maybe it was yours, but mine was fine.
Okay,
So
so
just use that one until we end.
yeah, because we're almost
We're
we're
almost
almost
gonna wrap
done.
it up.
So
Yes,
because we've been here for at least an hour, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to fix this up so y'all so we can say our closing.
Yeah. Sherry, can you hear me?
Oh yes. Are you hearing me at all?
All right, so
I don't know. I can't hear her.
You can't
hold
hear me?
on.
What about now?
Okay, there you go. Can you hear? Did you have them on?
Yeah,
No,
I did, but
yeah.
I don't hear.
You can't hear me.
Can you hear anything now over there or no?
Mhm.
Yes. All right
You're
then. So let's see. Speaker, Bluetooth headphones. All right. So
So,
Sherry, can you speak for a second? I just want to make sure that we
just
can
want
hear.
to make sure that we can
all right.
hear you
And
before
you
we wrap up.
Can't hear her. So
hear me. Okay. No.
that's
Can
it.
we go back to this one that we were using?
Yeah, I already put it there. I just okay. I think we're good now. Sherry, can you speak one more time, please?
Okay, let's see what's going on now.
Yes,
There we go.
there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, then good,
Yeah.
good. That's the thing about these lives.
You
It's
can't
still,
fake it. It's
yeah,
just live.
yeah. We're trying to get it down, but you know, this is
Like I said last week, we were talking, we were having a good old conversation, and then when we finished, we realized we had no audio.
It's,
So okay.
you just have to start. It will come together.
Yes.
So
Yes,
that's
it will. It will.
yeah, but I was just saying that in my former career, I was also a life insurance sales agent. So I understand more than most the value of insurance. And along with the product that you're there able to offer for health insurance, we are for Americans in particular, we have the benefit of Allianz Global Assistance, and they will do annual policies, particularly for people who are living the nomadic life. And that has a whole slew of benefits that I'll probably sit and chat with you about, because you know, when you morph an annual policy with what you have for that person who is probably living in the DR, they're going to get coverage not only for the time that they are in DR, but they're getting coverage while they're commuting, while they're off on a cruise, on vacation, without always having to layer up on another type of policy. So the value that we all bring to the table, it's immense. And sometimes we don't even remember some of the things we can do until it comes out, as in this conversation, you know?
Right. Well, I'm glad you mentioned it. So I'll put it in the description.
Yes.
I'll put your information. I'll put that also in the description, so it'll be available. So if anybody's interested,
so they can try to reach you.
They can reach you, definitely. Your contact information. Do you have a website? I know you have a YouTube channel. Do you have a website?
No, and you and I will probably have to get into this a little deeper, but our websites over the years have done nothing for us. They were just burdens that I chose to let go because they're not performing. And then to the range of products that we have, it's so diverse. that you would literally need a total back office to keep updating. However, what we do have are um, personalized back office products with our labeling on it. So, for example, if we're offering the Ama Magdalena here in Colombia, we have everything done on Ama Waterways website. It is co-branded with all of my imagery, with my contact details, with my capture page. So as soon as I put that link out there or I share it with a client, they're interacting with all of the product and all of the marketing and all of the beautiful graphics done by Ama Waterways, but my capture information is what's going out to them. And I have
so when someone wants to contact you, like now it's mostly through WhatsApp, right?
It can be WhatsApp, email, or it can be my direct number. I do have a direct number for the US and Canada. And then, of course, that has become easier. It's funny enough because when we think WhatsApp, we kind of think Caribbean people. But I have been using WhatsApp particularly for persons for the further reaches. I've got quite a few clients from India, from Poland, Eastern Europe, and even as far as Australia. And so WhatsApp has transitioned the way we all communicate, and it has become so easy. So, contacting me, it's a walk in the park, literally. And the sort of relationships that we build with our clients, just like with our relationship, Colleen, it feels like we've known each other forever and we've never really seen each other in real life. And that's kind of what we get from the relationships we build with our clients as well. I've got clients in Saudi Arabia, and we talk about our children, our families, as though, we've been lifelong friends, and it hit us that we've never seen each other in person.
Right. But that's the power of the internet.
Yes.
That's right.
The power of the internet.
It's a blessing and a curse at times. Well, it has been so wonderful talking to you, and I hope we will get to meet physically soon. I'm so glad. Yes, definitely. But I'm so glad you were able to come up
to join us.
Your time. I know everybody's time is precious. And my dog keeps coming in and looking at us because she wants to go to the bathroom. So we're going to end live for
at least an hour. We had, as always, we're still new to this, so we had a little bit of technical hoo-has, but we have to do some editing for the first 38 minutes. We're going to make sure that our whole interaction is going to be in one single video, which we will put up later. But thank you so much for joining us, Sheri. I really appreciate it. And we're going to do this again. We're going to do this again. And,
and we will put all your information in the description, and it will live there.
Yes.
It will live there. It will not be removed.
Yeah, we're going to give it a full room and board.
So again, thank you so much, and thank you for all the info, and we hope to see you
in person
in the DR sometime before the end of the year, hopefully.
Maybe soon.
And we will talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk soon. All right. Thank you all. Thank you for watching. And we will be back again next week. We're
gonna do this every Sunday.
Regular thing every Sunday at 6 p.m. And with all our flaws.
Yes.
With all our flaws, we should be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a great week. Bye. Now.
Yes.
Okay.